Hello, my name is Taniqua and welcome back to my channel. I want to do a story time on how I fractured my ankle while working for FedEx ground as a package handler. So in late June, I got a notification from FedEx that they wanted to do orientation. This was about June the 27th or 8th. So I went in. It was the week of the 4th of July. So if the 4th of July was on, I believe, Sunday or Monday this year, then it was that Saturday that all this incident occurred. So that previous Tuesday before, I went to orientation. I worked that Wednesday, that Thursday, and Friday with no problem. That Saturday came, and on this particular morning, it was early shifts because my shift at FedEx was an early shift. So it was anytime between 3:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. to basically finish loading the packages on the trucks. So this particular Saturday, I think I came in at around 5 a.m. And what happened is that when I got in, it was just a short staff. Like, it wasn't that many people to do the trucks like it was through the first 3 days I was there. So they put me on where I was at the front of like the package line, because the packages come down a conveyor belt and you take them off the conveyor belt to put them onto the trucks. So they put me on the first three trucks on the left side of the conveyor belt for me to load all three of them. So I had to basically hurry up, run and rush to make sure I have the packages for all three trucks and get them loaded on to the truck. And when you get them on the truck, you have to have them organized, blah, blah, blah. So I worked the first hour. It was good, no problem. Then it starts speeding up because after the amount of receiving trucks come in, the packages on the conveyor belt start rolling in. So what happened was that the packages start speeding up and I had to basically rush to keep up. Remind you, this is like only my 4th day on the job, and this was supposed to be like a part-time job. This is just me making extra money, whatever the case may be. This was my second job. This is what is in my primary job or anything like that. This was a second job I was just making extra money at. So anyways, what happened was I was getting a package. My last package I got from the conveyor belt, I got the package and I loaded it on the truck, and then I seen more packages rolling. At the time of me loading my package onto my truck that I was on and trying to get back out, the trucks is supposed to be as close as possible to the walkway of the conveyor belt, so that way it wouldn't be no lapse. This particular truck wasn't. It was a gap in between. So as I was stepping down to get off the truck, it was like that little gap, and I was trying to avoid it. In my eyesight, I seen it, but I was trying to avoid it. And so when I stepped down, it's like I missed my step and my ankle twisted as I was coming down, and I heard a crack, pop, snap. If that makes sense. Crack, pop, snap. That's what I heard. I felt a sharp pain go up my ankle, up into my leg, and I fell back in the truck. I remember screaming loudly. Nobody came for about 5 minutes or so. After they seen these packages loading up, that's when they came. And they said, "Oh, what happened?" "Oh, I did something to my ankle. It's hurting." The first thing they said was, "Well, you can stop screaming. It's gonna be okay. You can stop screaming. You shouldn't be in that much pain. I think you just twisted your ankle." No. You don't know what I feel. You don't know how I feel. How you gonna tell me how much pain I should be in or how I should feel about the pain I'm in? So I did think I cussed him. I'm not going to lie to you. I did cuss him. Because how the hell you going to tell me how much pain I'm in? Then they was like, oh, well, get the managers on the walkie-talkies, and we're going to get you some ice, and you can just sit here, and you should be back, ready to go back to work. No. My head, I'm like, I'm not going back to work without being checked. Because in orientation, the first thing they want to tell you, they make it clear to you, if you get injured, you need to go to urgent care to see how bad it is. They approved the urgent care that you can go to see how bad it is and go from there. So the manager came. She gave me the ice. She's like, can you stand up on it? No. Can you walk on it? No. And they said, oh, and it's swelling pretty bad. So by that time, because the manager took about 10 minutes to come, it was swelling already at that point. Well, you're going to have to try, because we're going to have to get you down the conveyor belt stairs to the cart. So I had to actually limp on my ankle that I just heard crack, snap, and pop, or crack, pop, snap, whatever, and get down the conveyor belt onto the little golf cart they have to go to the front. It took us about 10 minutes with help to get me down the conveyor belt, even though I was at the front, down them stairs to the golf cart. So then when I got on the golf cart, they rode me to the front of the building, and they did an accident report. And so with the accident report, they was like, well, you think you just need to go lay down and it'll be better? No, I'm going to urgent care. You are? Isn't that what you tell us in orientation, is to go to urgent care if you hurt, to make sure you're okay? Yes, I am. So they gave me the paperwork, because they wasn't going to give me no paperwork or nothing. They were just going to send me home for the day and put some ice on it, keep it up, and you'll be back to work on Tuesday, because I was off on Sunday and Monday from that job. No, I went to urgent care. By this time, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, so urgent care wasn't even open until 9 o'clock, I believe. So I sat in that parking lot. I drove with my left foot, which I'm a right-handed, right foot person. So I drove with my left foot. Don't ask me how. I don't know how. But I drove with my left foot and got to the urgent care parking lot, and I sat there. I called my mama to let her know what was going on. I called my boyfriend, because he was here with the kids, to let him know what was going on. And I sat there. When they opened, I was the first person in there. And they was like, is this on workman's comp? I said, I believe so, because I got injured on the job. And this is when they first opened, and they doing the paperwork to get you signed in. And so I only had to wait about 10 minutes for them to open up and get their machines going and stuff. And when they called me back to the room, they was like, oh, it is swollen. I said, yeah, it's definitely swollen. And they was like, well, what happened? And I told them what happened. They said, oh, yeah, that don't sound good. Let's do an x-ray. Sure enough, we did the x-ray. X-ray come back about 15 minutes after me being in the room. I had fractured my ankle. I had fractured it where the tendon that goes down, when I twisted my ankle, stretched when I twisted it, and it broke off the bottom part of where the ankle meets the foot. So I said, okay. They said, well, you're going to be in a boot for some time, for 6 weeks. We're going to refer you to the orthopedic. And probably 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to do physical therapy. I said, what? This is a couple days before the 4th of July. How am I what? So, okay. They wrapped me in the ace bandage wraps, then the boot. And by this time, I was just ready to go home. I was in so much pain because it was throbbing. It was really hurting. They wrote me a prescription for some ibuprofen. So I made my way home, barely, with my left foot again driving. And they gave me crutches. And so I made it upstairs finally. to my apartment because I live on the second floor. So I made my way upstairs and I just sat on the couch and I was just throbbing. It was throbbing. I think I passed out on the couch for a good couple of hours after that. And then when I woke up, everybody was up and they was like, "How are you feeling?" "I'm in pain. It hurts." The orthopedic didn't call to, well, of course, since the 4th of July was like that Monday, I believe, they didn't call to like Wednesday or Thursday to get me in the following week. Once I got in, they did another x-ray. Of course, it was still fractured. So I had to go to physical therapy. I was in physical therapy for dang near, let's see, 2 months. I went the first month. They went to see me back to see if it improved. It didn't improve like they wanted, but I upgraded out of a boot to a brace on my ankle and continued physical therapy for another month. Came back and they was like, "Oh, well, it's nothing more we can do." But still to this day, this is all summer. This is all this past summer. Still, and I was released in August. Still to this day, my ankle hurts. Like, hurt. I can't run on it. I can't even walk fast on it. It just hurts. I can't wear certain stuff around it or anything like that. It just hurts still to this day. They was like, it's gonna improve over time. When? Because no, this is not it. But the killer part. So while I was supposed to be out on workman's comp for FedEx, they called me back. I should say the first 3 weeks or so. No, 3 weeks or 3 weeks or a month after I was being on workman's comp. They took forever to get that approved because even though I only worked for 4 days, I entered on the job, so that's workman's comp. They called me and was like, "Oh, we have a sit-down job for you." Okay, is it straight sit-down? Because I can't do anything at this point. This is before I went back to the doctor and they put me in the brace. I was still in the boot. And still, even with the brace, they said sit down work only. I cannot do any physical work. Yeah, it's straight sit down. So I said, okay, well, I'll be in. They called me like on a Friday. I said, I'll be in that Tuesday. Got there Tuesday. Nobody knew nothing. None of the managers knew nothing. They didn't know who called. The person who called me wasn't even in yet. They had me sit there for the first hour. And remind you, it's 5 o'clock. I could have been asleep still. First hour until they figured out what was going on. Then when they figured out what was going on, the job they had me at wasn't all sit down. It was me on my feet, still working, but it was light work. What they consider light work, which was moving smaller envelopes and packages you would send through FedEx versus the big packages you put on a truck that is in the actual big boxes. So that only lasted a good couple of more weeks, and then I couldn't do it. I quit that. No. I tried to push it out and hang through because I'm tolerable with a lot of pain, but no, I couldn't. Nope, I quit. I definitely quit. Didn't call them. Just one day, didn't come back. That's how exactly went. Just didn't come back one day. So, what I would rate my FedEx package handler for ground experience, 0 out of 10, because of how they handled the situation all the way around. Even though they tell you all this stuff in orientation about safety is their number one priority, blah, 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 blah. It's not, because they still wanted me to come back, even though, they knew I was in pain. And before they found that I was fractured, they still called and said, well, why you ain't showing up? Because I'm in pain. Before they got the doctor's notes or paperwork or anything, I told them my ankle was fractured. Oh, we didn't get that. Okay, well, that's your urgent care that you sent me to, so follow up with them. They still wanted me to come back. And when they said they had a sit-down job for me, they really didn't. They still just wanted me to come back. So, no, I rate it 0 out of 10. Never again will I do that. But that is the story on how I fractured my ankle and how I was out of commission all summer from not being able to walk normal, run, jog, walk fast, none of that. So, thank you for watching my video today. Thank you for hearing my story time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.